Hello, my powerful one. Well, this is going to be fast. I don't think I've done a video for YouTube like this, but I've been guided because I've seen so many random, wild, crazy, real, perfect, beautiful, powerful questions from you. I felt inspired to do a little bit of behind the scenes and Q&A video. So let's do that, shall we? And just in case we don't know each other, hi, my name is Lenka Lutonska. I'm a creator of Business Energetics, which is an incredible methodology for scaling your business effortlessly with the power of your energy, but more than anything, a movement that sets a new standard for business growth. Energetic, exponential, effortless. And I'm so happy to have you here in our community. But without further ado, let's get to those questions and updates and a little bit behind the scenes of Business Energetics Academy and all things business energetics. Let's do it. So I'm going to open with one question that is ever so common and will lead me to give you a little bit of update and perhaps some tips as well. And that is this: how do you combine being a mother and a business owner? How do you make time for the business? Now, the thing is, I don't need to make time for the business, because it's like, how do you make time for somebody you dearly love? How do you make time for your loved one? That's not a question you ask, do you? So it's not like I need to make time for my business, because I'm deeply devoted to my mission, to my purpose on this earth, and that is to completely anchor business energetics so it becomes the way of running the business, rather than the old paradigm based on effort, and striving that had many people jumping from the roofs of the corporations out of exhaustion, stress, and so forth. So I'm devoted deeply to my vision and mission for this earth. So I guess that's where the first answer is. I'm not encouraging you to look for your purpose. No, because if you keep looking for something, it will just evade you. That's not the right way to go about it. But your vision, your desires, the authentic desires in your heart, lean into them a little more, that's what I would say, and marry them. Really believe they're yours to live. They're yours to express those authentic desires, which, by the way, are not just amazing for manifesting desires for personal life, but that authentic desire is number one business strategy as well. It holds all you need for scaling into millions and beyond. So go into those authentic desires, go there and take them as they're real, marry them, devote to them, take them as your mission, your main purpose to be on this earth, to express those authentic desires. And out of that, you don't need to make time for business. The time will reveal itself. That would be my tip number one. But I know at the moment I'm talking like, oh, easier for you, easy for you. You have got a chef, for God's sake, you have got staff, you have got stylists, you have got help around you. So no, it wasn't always like that, of course. Initially, how I made time for business is I make a very brave step where I actually demonstrated that I believe in my vision more than in my current circumstances and fears. So at the time, my business was already doing okay. However, I got pregnant with Tommy, my third son, and we had this talk with my husband around possibly him retiring and being a main carer, so I could create time around the business. Now, going back those years, it was largely uncomfortable. It was a huge risk. Of course, my husband said, I will love to do that. It's in his personality. So it was by mutual agreement. So yes, that was arrangement that helped me so much in terms of time, making quote unquote time for business. But beyond that was just a huge brave step, because whereas my business was starting to pick up, it was okay, but it was nowhere near to, like replace another salary and so forth. So it was one of those quantum actions when I demonstrated I believe in my vision, and I know that when my husband will stay at home and create, that environment of stability, I can take my business much further. So it was coming from very much that certainty. So that definitely helped. And then I started to hire even when I thought I can't afford it. Even before I felt ready. It was always from the principle that if there is something I do that I don't enjoy, is not my zone of genius, but I'm engaging in that activity, I'm actually stealing from myself and from my vision, because I'm doing something that is not mine to do. So those were the series of decisions where before I was ready or could afford it, I hired even for small roles, assistants and this and that. And it paid off. Initially, it was the first two initial hires, Lorna and Tatiana, and they're still inside of Business Energetics. They're still one of my closest support structures, these powerful women. So decisions that I made a decade ago that helped me to, if you like, how you say, balancing business and life, that are still really worth it. So anyway, so definitely that, and I continued to harness those energies of getting deeply supported and upgrading, and yes, getting support to the point when I made myself many times uncomfortable. And lastly, and most importantly, would I attribute the ability to just easily merge the business and life and have as much time as I need for business is this: deep presence. Let me explain. In recent months, my sons, I have 3 sons, my kids need me a lot more, or I need them a lot more. And there are things in my personal life, some things that are not easy. I'm not going to spit it out, what's happening in my personal life and so forth. I like to keep some things private, but there are some challenges in my personal life, and my family simply needs me more. And I need to do a lot more mothering than, let's say, 6 months ago. But what is important is that everything that is happening, I take it's supporting my business and vision and mission. So what it helps me with while I'm spending a lot more time outside of business than in the business and with my family, what it's supporting me is really become a far deeper embodiment of my desire that I had before, and that is that I don't want to hold the business anymore. I want business to hold me, because I found myself in a situation before where I felt like I've got to be always on, as in, is that linear way of doing the business, So this month we're doing this, and we're doing this campaign and delivering this program. This is how we're facilitating transformation. Next month is this. And it's always that feeling like it's up on you. It's on you. And I was well over it. And I started to take some steps. For instance, I told myself I'm never going to launch again until I can comfortably make 6 figures, just, passively, or just without any launch, without any campaign, just because it's a baseline. So I set that intention because 6 figures a month was my baseline already, but it was a lot of linearity, a lot of what's happening this month, what's happening next month, what's next. And I knew it's not in alignment with me anymore. And it's not to say that my work-life balance was terrible. It was never, because I took care of that. But I knew that I can have a greater freedom and so forth, internal and time-wise and so forth. So this was the beginning of it, to setting that intention and making some powerful decision or a choice that I'm not launching anymore until I know that we're making 6 figures impact a month as a baseline, cash as a baseline. I'm not launching anymore. And over the next few months, it happened. We manifested it. So now we have got the 6 figures, absolute baseline, but I don't launch anymore. And I don't need to plan anymore what's going to happen, how we're going to bring the clients and the money. It's old paradigm. Why I'm saying it is because in that process, in those months, yes, my family needed me or still needs me more. So I had to be more present for them. And it actually really helped me to become a full embodiment of this principle, that I'm being held by my business and by my mission and by my movement, business energetics, rather than holding it all. Because we women, powerful women, we are so good at holding it all, holding the energy for clients, for team, for everyone else. But actually, I desired to be held. So today I feel I'm being held, and you know what brought me there? That presence with my children, even with when I walk, with whatever we do, that deep presence, like I'm here, I'm now, I'm in my body, I'm open, I'm deeply involved in the activity. I'm not thinking about what do I need to do or my responsibility or this or that. And I know that this deep presence in whatever we do, that created certainly for me almost like an open channel, so the manifestations could drop and the ideas, very potent ideas that are just so easy to implement, are dropping. So our nervous system is like in exhale mode, so stuff is dropping, so I can be held. That can happen only when we allow ourselves to be present. So this is not easy tip to give from mouth to your ears, because it's not a tip for your logical mind. But if you can just allow yourself to feel that it's in my deep presence that the magic happens, and it's in my deep presence where everything is super accelerated. It's in my deep presence when I completely open myself to receive, and it's in my deep presence when my business grows. Stay with that, because that might just support you so much in what you call work-life balance. I don't call it that way. I just perceive it as one thing. But those are the tips I would give you here, or how I go about being a mom and a powerful business owner. We can be absolutely both. It's not exclusive, you know, to have a plenty of time for family and plenty of time for business and have a insanely successful business. It's all one thing. It can all be done. I promise you. Open yourself up to it, and yes, take some of these tips. Okay, let me know if that helped. Now I'm going to ask a couple of fun questions related to my body, because the other day, and that is actually also what inspired this video, I caught a beautiful comment stroke question on a YouTube, and it read something like, I'm paraphrasing by now, it read something like, Lenka, you have got amazingly defined arms, or do you take some steroids or something like that to have your arms so defined? And it made me so giggle, because clearly I don't take steroids. It's just a pretty decent lifestyle in terms of what I eat and exercise, but not nearly as crazy as you might think. It's mainly, I would say, genetics, as in I'm quite lean in this part of the body, so my muscles get revealed quite quickly, definitely quicker than the lower body. The lower body needs a lot more work than my upper body to have a definition. So definitely genetics are part of it, but also I eat very little rubbish. Rubbish, it's not the right word to say. What I used to eat before, when I go a couple of years back, loads of processed foods, etc., etc. Now I eat mostly, I say 80% really delicious, natural foods, treats from time to time. And I'm on a whole journey with my eating habits, or what I eat, and fitness journey. I'm on a whole journey. It's definitely for another video if that would interest you. I'm happy to create a video sharing that journey of shaping my body to where it is today, and where I am on this journey. Because like right now, in this red hot minute, you wouldn't believe, I'm actually for 2 weeks now on carnivore. Like, what the heck? I wouldn't even think few weeks back, or is it carnivore? Basically, I eat just meat, fish, eggs mostly, and a few other ketoish things, but very clean meat-based diet, which you would not, 3 weeks ago I would say, you crazy, you know, like carnivore, like you crazy. It's for the purpose of supporting my gut but I really like this because my energy is different. Anyway, I'm so diverting. The point is, it's not about what I eat. It's only for a few weeks now. I'm on carnivore. I'm not going to stay on it. But diet overall, no matter what I eat, is pretty clean. 80% clean and 20% my treats. We've got to have a pleasure, right? In terms of the training, I have another question here. That how many hours a day do you train? Like, wow, hours? No, I definitely don't train for hours. I train in a gym. I have 2 sessions a week in a gym with a trainer for strength training, and I typically complement with another one at home, which is more Pilates, body weight training, something like that. So that's it, 2 to 3 times a week. But in the last couple of weeks, it was 0 times, literally 0. The only thing I do is walking. I do walking pretty much every day. I love walking. So that's my main exercise, if you like. I love walking in the nature. It's like, that's what we do as a family, by myself, dogs, walking. But in the last couple of weeks, I haven't been doing any strength training, and that's because I switched to this meat-based diet, carnivore, and bloody hell, the detox. So I felt it's not right to do that, plus strength training would be too much. So I'm giving myself a little break, but that's it. 2 to maximum 3 sessions in a good week, the normal week, and eat reasonably. That's it. Next question. What do you do with those moments when the money hasn't caught up yet and fear is creeping in? My dear, I feel you with this question, and of course I've been there many times, but it's been so long ago it feels like a past life because I'm well settled in my consciousness of overflow. That's my normal. However, I still relate it to me, to my current self, in a way that when I set some intention and there is a delay, sometimes I get nervous or impatient, I would say. But I remember this feeling. So let me go a little bit back what I would do back then when it was like real in this context. The money was not catching up or the money was getting maybe tight. First and foremost, it's almost like I want to say the double up on energy and move with it rather than freak out. Easier said than done, but I have one example that popped to my mind. I'm going some years ago where I set out an intention to grow. The things were going well, but at some point I remember being away, and it was actually quite rare at the time that I allowed myself to travel. Still, that time I allowed myself to travel with the friends. And during that short period when I was away, I was literally getting almost like notification after notification, but it was maybe 3 altogether. Essentially, clients not paying, or maybe there was somebody who stepped out of my program. I can't remember exactly, but it was like, ooh, F. The money is not coming, it's dropping. Clients are not coming, they're dropping. It was that type of feeling. So while intention was to grow my business, of course, there was this temporary, like it's almost like opposite. And I was getting nervous about how much money I had at the time. You know what I did? I hired a coach. I invested actually quite a bit of money, even though it was less than I was used to, but I invested a chunk of it for a coach. Now, I'm not saying you need to go and hire a coach. But what that was, that chunk of money that I paid to a coach I resonated with at the time, that was my demonstrated commitment. Like, I believe this stuff. I know this is going to lead to greater abundance. So especially when we've got that wobbly time, this is the time to take some quantum leap and take the next quantum action. Doesn't have to do anything with the money. Quantum action is almost like the type of action that scares the heck out of you, or a little bit out of you, your current self, but it's completely aligned with your vision. So yes, it can be something that you need to practice your voice or courage or sell more, whatever it might be, but it's when you almost, I want to use the words, double down on the version of you you're becoming. Go into that version and take more choices, or at least one powerful choice from that place. Now, you know what is funny? I remember, I wish I could tell you which year was it, but it doesn't matter. I now recognize that that action itself absolutely was a huge part of my first 7-figure year. It literally took me that high. And I think that was not necessarily doubling, almost doubling my business. Yes, where I was to where I ended up in that year. Doubling my business, and it was my first 7-figure cash year, business year. Can you feel what I'm saying, my dear? So if the manifestation or money is getting tight, the most important thing is that I want to use the word double down on who you are, on the identity of who you are, and make at least one choice from that. It doesn't have to do anything to do with money or hiring a coach or anything like that, but there will be something, a quantum action, a big bold move that you could do only from that if you believe, if you know that that next version of you, that next level of business, that the money is coming, not from will it come, won't it come, okay? That is my answer. That's what I always aim to do. There were some times where it's not easy to start with because you got lots of human emotion. Of course, alchemy, energetic alchemy and so forth might be needed. So give yourself that validation, give yourself that release, work with your nervous system and so forth. But you want to flip into time. What do I love about this? What is the opportunity here? What do I love about this? What is the opportunity for me here? Typically it's something to let go, and typically it's something to really, really embody. So through that quantum action, you'll embody it, okay? Let's do another one. How can I shift my energy when I feel blocked or stuck in my business? Well, first of all, I want to say on this, I did a video, it's quite short, but I made a video already about the clarity, confusion, clarity cycle. We will link it if possible somewhere here or certainly in the description below. So you'll want to watch that video, so I don't need to repeat myself, and it will give you a lot more in-depth guidance what to do when you feel stuck. But I will give you one more tip that came intuitively as I read that question, and that is reconnect with your vision more powerfully. Stop pussyfooting around your vision. Take it as it's meant to flow through you, and it will tell you what is next. And you probably already know, if you're connected with your vision, you probably already what you know is next, but you are either overcomplicating it, or you are stuck in which way to go, or you simply say, I don't know. It's a mindset. I don't know, it's a mindset. It's not a fact. There is always something you know, no matter how quiet that knowing is, no matter how inconvenient that knowing is, but there is something you know, and no matter how small that knowing is, how small that step is. So try this. Really reconnect with your vision. Ask yourself, if anything was possible for me, anything was possible for me now, what would I choose? What would I love to be, do, and have? Connect with that as, okay, desire, you want to express itself through me. This is how God, how the universe, creator within me wants to express itself through me. So it's not just that I want it, it wants me. I'm giving myself to you. I'm marrying you, so to speak. So tell me what's next. It's almost like if you already had that, how would you express it today? That is what you want to do. That is your next step. All right. I will love to hear from you how you're moving with this. Now, I will also love to give you a little bit of update. If you have more questions, you know what, put them down below. There are more questions here, but I want to keep this video reasonably short. Put your questions in the comments. If you want me to do more Q&A sessions like this, or more behind the scenes like this, do let me know. And I just want to give you just a little bit of update of what is happening behind the scenes of Business Energetics and Business Energetics Academy. Even though I'm already spending a lot more time with my family than in my business, now we're going into holiday season. So I will go with my family to Nice, then I'm back for just a few days. Then I will go with one of my sons, travel to Norway and Croatia and so forth. So there will be a lot of travel in July and August. But let me tell you, and this is again a little energetic tip, that doesn't mean everything is to stop. No. The time when you travel, when you holiday, when you relax in the garden, by the beach, this is where, I said it at the beginning, this is the deep presence where your nervous system is opening, and the the guidance drops, and everything that you're meant to be yours, it's so much more easily dropping. So I'm looking forward to it, because every time I allow myself to relax even more, when I physically slow down, energetically things speed up. And same for you, yes? So remember that. So definitely, if you didn't allow yourself to slow down over summer period, I'll always encourage you, slow down, allow yourself to slow down, because when you physically slow down, energetically you speed up. So that's what's happening for the July and August. But in the meantime, what is at work is plenty of super exciting things for you to look forward to, for the world to look forward to. So let me mention a few. Number one, the sold out code is flowing through me, and that is going to be the masterclass and activation, most possibly in the beginning of September, where I'll go with you through a lot energetic depth and detail and strategy, because strategy is expression of energy, of what makes the difference between the offer that you sell out easily and effortlessly and the offer which you don't sell out, which is underselling perhaps. So we'll go there like really deeply, so you can be ready for the most fruitful part of the year to sell out your delicious offerings. Okay, that's probably most likely I'm going to bring it to you in early September. And please, if you're interested in that, even drop a comment with the sold out code, because that will feed the energy. That will feed the energy. So the sold out code is coming. Number two, first Business Energetics Global Summit is happening in October. This is going to be the first global gathering of this kind. We're going to be simply collectively rewiring how the global consciousness at large, how we approach selling, wealth, success, and of course business. I'm going to have some extraordinary speakers lined up. I'm pleased to say we just started to invite the speakers, and Dr. John Martini just accepted invitation. So for instance, he will be one of the speakers, plus few more. It's not going to be masses of speakers. It's going to be few selected real leaders in business energetics, and plenty of you as a leaders who are supposed to co-create this next economy, the business energetics in global consciousness. So it's going to be an extravaganza of ideas and activations and the new approaches in business for the next decade. So I'm really looking forward to that. So you might as well put the dates in your diary, 21st to 23rd October, because this is going to be online but live event. This is going to be live. There will be recordings for a limited period, but you probably want to be live. So at the moment we're organizing it all, hiring a beautiful studio, etc., etc. I cannot wait. And next year, my darling, we're going to Dubai, okay? That's happening. And of course, the book, is flowing through me. So I think I will write a few more chapters during my holiday. Business Energetics book, of course. On that occasion, 1 second, I had to grab this book, because if you haven't read Energetic Selling and Marketing book, you've got to, my darling. Business Energetics, the book that I'm currently writing, is going to be the younger and yet more evolved sister, but this is where it all started, energetic selling and marketing. I put here everything that literally changed my life at a time that took me from zero and sub-zero to millions. These are the fundamentals, and somebody said that, I think I will go to coffin with this book. That it's all, so many notes and highlighted pages that it's falling apart. So I love that. So this is the first book of the series of Business Energetics, Energetic Selling and Marketing. If you haven't read it, you've got to read it. It's accessible on website, and Business Energetics book is coming as well. Business Energetics Academy, I want to say, is thriving with incredible leaders and change makers. So I want to thank to every single one of you who already is inside of Business Energetics Academy, who are taking the fullness of this powerful material and becoming it, how you're changing your lives, how you growing your businesses, how you rewiring not just your destiny and destiny for your family and bloodlines, but for many, many clients. I want to thank you dearly. If you're not in Business Energetics Academy yet, have a look around. There are 4 core pathways. One of them is definitely for you. And if you want to talk about the Business Energetics Academy to one of my mentors, please feel happy to apply for a call with one of our Business Energetics mentors. We will put the link somewhere below. That is a little update. That is the behind the scenes. That are the answered few questions just for now. And if you have more, put them in the comments. If you want me to do another video like this, I will want to hear. I'm sending you so much love. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Until next time. Mwah.